I fell in love with someone else, and I don't care how you feel, stated my wife, Anna, holding the phone with messages from her boss. I smiled and calmly answered, "This is your choice. But I just sent all your chats to our lawyer." Her face turned white when she realized that her secret was no longer a secret. Jake Miller pulled into the driveway of his Miami beachfront home, the engine of his SUV humming as he glanced at the clock. 6:47 p.m. The kids, Mia, 7, and Ethan, 5, were at soccer practice, and he'd rushed from coaching to make it home for dinner. Anna, his wife of 8 years, had texted she'd be home by 6:30, but her car wasn't there. Again, he grabbed his phone, saw no new messages, and stepped inside, the silence of the house amplifying his unease. He tossed his keys on the counter and checked the fridge for the meal plan they'd agreed on. Tacos tonight, Mia's favorite. Jake started chopping onions, the knife's rhythm steadying his thoughts. Anna had been distant lately, her marketing job swallowing her evenings. Late meetings, she'd say, avoiding his eyes. He'd brushed it off as stress, but the pattern gnawed at him. Last week, he caught her smiling at her phone, then locking it when he walked in. The front door clicked open at 7:12. Anna rushed in, heels clicking, and dropped her bag on the floor. "Sorry, traffic was brutal," she said, not meeting his gaze. Jake nodded, stirring the beef on the stove. "Kids will be home soon. Tacos are almost ready." She mumbled thanks and disappeared upstairs. He noticed her phone stayed glued to her hand, screen angled away. Dinner was quiet. Mia chattered about scoring a goal. Ethan smeared salsa on his shirt, and Anna scrolled through her phone between bites. Jake watched her thumbs move, her face lit by the screen's glow. "Work stuff?" he asked, keeping his tone light. Anna flinched, then nodded. "Just emails. Big campaign coming up." Her voice was too quick, like she'd rehearsed it. Jake's stomach tightened, but he smiled for the kids, ruffling Ethan's hair. After bedtime stories, Jake tucked Mia and Ethan in, their laughter easing the tension in his chest. Downstairs, Anna was still on her phone, typing furiously. "Everything okay?" he asked, leaning against the doorway. She locked the screen and stood. "Just tired. Heading to bed." She brushed past him, leaving a faint whiff of perfume he didn't recognize. Jake stayed in the living room, staring at the couch where they used to watch movies together. Now, just a place for her to scroll. At 1 a.m., unable to sleep, Jake slipped out of bed. Anna's soft breathing filled the room, her phone charging on the nightstand. He hesitated, guilt prickling his skin, but curiosity won. He knew her passcode, her birthday. The screen unlocked, revealing a chat with Mark B., her boss. Jake's pulse quickened as he scrolled. "Can't stop thinking about you," Anna had written at 11 p.m. Mark's reply, "Same, tomorrow night?" Jake's throat closed. He screenshot the messages, emailed them to himself, and deleted the email from her sent folder. His hands shook as he placed the phone back. The next morning, Jake drove the kids to school, his mind replaying the texts. Anna was already gone when he returned, her coffee mug still warm. He sat at his laptop, opened the screenshots, and read them again. "Jake's great, but you make me feel alive," Anna had typed. Mark's response was a winking emoji and a hotel address. Jake's jaw clenched. He wasn't the type to explode. Instead, he called his friend Tom, a family lawyer, and scheduled a meeting. "Bring everything you've got," Tom said. Jake nodded, already planning his next step. At soccer practice that afternoon, Jake kept his focus on the kids, shouting encouragement as Mia dribbled past the defender. But his mind was elsewhere. Anna texted she'd be late again, another meeting. Jake replied, "No problem," and pocketed his phone. He drove to the office of a private investigator recommended by Tom. "I need proof," Jake said, sliding the screenshots across the desk. The PI, a wiry man named Carlos, nodded. "Give me 48 hours. That night, Anna came home at 9:45, claiming a client dinner ran long. Jake nodded, serving her leftover tacos. "How's Mark?" he asked casually. Her fork froze mid-air, eyes darting to him. "Fine. Why?" Jake shrugged. "Just asking. You mention him a lot." She laughed, too loud, and changed the subject to Ethan's school project. Jake watched her, the woman he'd loved since college, now a stranger hiding behind quick smiles. By Friday, Carlos delivered. Photos of Anna and Mark at a hotel bar, her hand on his arm. A video of them entering a room, her laugh echoing. Jake stared at the evidence, his chest heavy, but his resolve hardening. He forwarded everything to Tom, who advised holding off on confrontation. Build the case first, Tom said. Jake agreed, but every moment with Anna felt like a lie. She kissed him goodbye that morning, promising to be home for Mia's game tomorrow. He smiled, knowing he was already 2 steps ahead. Jake woke to the sound of his alarm at 6:30 a.m., the Miami sun already piercing through the blinds. He checked his phone. No messages from Anna, who'd slipped out before dawn for an early meeting. He knew better now. The private investigator's evidence burned in his mind. Anna and Mark at the hotel, their closeness undeniable. Jake poured coffee, his hands steady despite the storm inside. Today was Mia's soccer game, and he'd keep things normal for the kids. At the field, Jake coached with focus, shouting plays to Mia's team. Ethan sat on the sidelines, cheering. Anna arrived late, rushing from her car with a forced smile, claiming a work call held her up. Jake nodded, his eyes on the game, but he noticed her quick glance at her phone. Score! Mia shouted, high-fiving her teammates. Jake clapped, but his thoughts were on the plan forming. He'd confront Anna soon, but not without leverage. After the game, Jake took the kids for ice cream, letting their laughter drown his tension. Anna begged off, citing a deadline. Jake texted Carlos, the PI, for an update. A new email arrived. More photos of Anna and Mark at a beachfront cafe, her hand brushing his. Jake forwarded them to Tom, his lawyer, who replied, "This strengthens your case. Keep collecting." Jake pocketed his phone, determined to stay calm for Mia and Ethan. Back home, Anna was in the kitchen, typing on her laptop. Jake set the kids up with a movie and approached her. "Busy day?" he asked, leaning against the counter. She closed the laptop fast. "Just catching up," she said, her voice clipped. Jake held her gaze, searching for the woman he married. She looked away, grabbing her phone. "I'm heading out for a bit," she announced, claiming a friend's birthday drinks. Jake didn't argue, just watched her leave. That evening, Jake met Tom at a quiet diner. Tom slid a folder across the table, legal documents outlining divorce and custody options. "With the evidence, you got a shot at full custody," Tom said. Her affair could sway a judge. Jake nodded, his jaw tight. He wanted to protect Mia and Ethan, not just from a broken home, but from Anna's choices. "What's next?" he asked. Tom advised hiring a forensic accountant to check Anna's finances, suspecting she'd been funneling money for her secret getaways. By Monday, Jake had a new ally, Sarah, the accountant. She dug into Anna's bank statements, finding unexplained hotel charges and cash withdrawals. Jake's heart sank as he realized Anna had used their joint savings. He called Carlos for a final push, track Anna's movements this week. Carlos delivered by Wednesday, a report showing Anna and Mark at a downtown condo, rented under Mark's name. Jake saved every detail, his anger now a cold, focused resolve. Thursday night, Anna announced a work trip for the weekend. Jake saw the lie in her quick packing, the way she avoided his questions. "Where exactly?" he pressed, keeping his tone even. "Orlando, client conference," she said, not looking up. Jake nodded, knowing Carlos was already tailing her. He kissed Mia and Ethan goodnight, promising a fun weekend. After Anna left, he checked her laptop, left unlocked for once. An email from Mark confirmed a weekend at a Key West resort. Jake printed it, adding it to his growing file. Friday morning, Jake dropped the kids at school and met Lisa, Mark's wife, at a coffee shop. He'd found her contact through a mutual colleague. Lisa's face hardened as Jake showed her the photos and texts. "I suspected something," she whispered, her voice shaking. "Mark's been distant for months." Jake kept his tone steady. "I'm not here to hurt you, but we both deserve the truth." Lisa agreed to confront Mark, promising to share any new evidence with Jake. That afternoon, Carlos called. Anna and Mark were at the resort, checked in under Mark's name. Jake thanked him and called Tom. "File the divorce papers," he said. "I want them ready when she gets back." Tom agreed, warning Jake to stay composed. "Don't tip her off yet." Jake hung up, his mind racing. He picked up the kids, keeping their routine intact, but every smile felt like a shield against the chaos coming. Saturday night, Lisa texted Jake. She'd confronted Mark, who admitted the affair. She'd kicked him out, and he was staying at a hotel. Jake thanked her, promising to keep her updated. He felt a strange relief knowing Anna's world was unraveling too. Sunday morning, he took Mia and Ethan to the beach, building sandcastles to distract himself. His phone buzzed. Carlos sent a video of Anna and Mark arguing outside the resort. Jake saved it, his plan nearly complete. When Anna returned Sunday night, Jake was ready. She walked in, claiming the conference was exhausting. Jake handed her a glass of water, his face neutral. "Good trip?" he asked. She nodded, avoiding his eyes. He let the moment pass, knowing tomorrow would change everything. As she slept, Jake finalized his strategy with Tom. The divorce papers were drafted, the evidence compiled. Anna thought she was in control, but Jake was about to flip the script. Jake sat at the kitchen table Monday morning, divorce papers hidden in a folder under a stack of bills. The kids were at school, and Anna was in the shower, humming as if her weekend lie had gone unnoticed. Jake's phone buzzed with a text from Lisa, Mark's wife. "He's begging to come back, but I'm done. Sent you his latest text to Anna." Jake opened the attachment, Mark promising Anna a new life after he handles things. Jake's grip tightened. He forwarded the message to Tom, his lawyer, and waited. Anna emerged, grabbing her keys for work. "Big day today," she said, her tone breezy. Jake leaned back, studying her. "Orlando was productive?" he asked, voice calm. She froze for a split second, then nodded. "Tons of networking. Exhausted." She kissed his cheek and left. Jake watched her car pull away, knowing she was headed to Mark's office. He called Carlos, the PI, with one last task: confirm Anna's whereabouts today. By noon, Carlos reported Anna and Mark at a downtown restaurant, their meeting far from professional. Jake instructed him to stand by for more. He met Tom at his office, where the divorce papers were now finalized, citing infidelity and financial misconduct. Tom laid out the strategy: serve Anna the papers tonight, leveraging the evidence for full custody of Mia and Ethan. "She won't see it coming," Tom said. Jake nodded, his resolve like steel. Back home, Jake kept busy, helping Ethan with homework and reviewing Mia's science project. His phone stayed silent. No text from Anna, who was working late again. He cooked spaghetti, the kids' chatter filling the void. At 8 p.m., the doorbell rang. Jake answered, expecting a neighbor, but it was Lisa, her eyes red but determined. "I need to talk," she whispered. Jake stepped outside, closing the door to shield the kids. Lisa revealed she'd hired her own lawyer and confronted Mark with the hotel evidence. He'd confessed to using company funds for his and Anna's trips, risking his job. "I told his boss," Lisa said. "He's suspended pending investigation." Jake absorbed the news, calculating. "Will you testify if needed?" he asked. Lisa agreed, handing over Mark's company email login, where more proof of the affair sat. Jake thanked her, promising to coordinate. At 9:30, Anna walked in, startled to see Jake still up. "Kids asleep?" she asked, avoiding his gaze. He nodded, motioning to the couch. "We need to talk." Her shoulders tensed, but she sat. Jake pulled out the folder, sliding the divorce papers across the table. "I know about Mark," he said, voice even. Anna's eyes widened, her hand reaching for her phone. "What is this?" she stammered. Jake opened his laptop, playing Carlos's video of her and Mark arguing at the resort. Anna's face drained of color. "It's not what you think," she started, but Jake cut her off. "I have texts, photos, bank records. You used our savings for him." He laid out the evidence: screenshots, hotel receipts, Mark's emails. Anna's voice cracked. "I was unhappy, Jake. You were always busy with the kids, the team." He held up a hand. "You chose this. Now you face it." He handed her a pen, pointing to the papers. "Sign, or we go to court." She pushed the papers away, tears falling. "I love you, Jake. We can fix this." He shook his head. "You love him. You said in your texts." Anna sobbed, begging for a chance. Jake stood firm, his heart heavy but clear. "You have until tomorrow to decide. I'm protecting Mia and Ethan." He walked upstairs, leaving her with the folder. In bed, he stared at the ceiling, the weight of 8 years pressing down, but his focus was on the kids' future. The next morning, Anna was gone before Jake woke. A note on the counter read, "I need time." Jake texted Tom to prepare for court, suspecting Anna would fight. He dropped the kids at school, keeping their routine steady. At lunch, Carlos called. Anna was at Mark's condo. Jake instructed him to document everything. By evening, Tom confirmed the papers were ready to serve officially, with Lisa's testimony and Mark's financial misconduct as leverage. Jake picked up the kids, his calm masking the storm. Mia asked why Mommy was sad last night. Jake hugged her, promising everything would be okay. Back home, he checked his email. Lisa had sent Mark's latest message to Anna, urging her to leave Jake and start fresh. Jake saved it, his anger now a quiet fire. He called Lisa, coordinating their next move. "She's digging her own grave," Lisa said. Jake agreed, ready to end this chapter. Jake stood in the school parking lot, watching Mia and Ethan race to their friends. It was Wednesday morning, and Anna hadn't returned home since leaving her note. Her absence left a void, but Jake kept the kids' routine airtight. Breakfast, school drop-off, soccer drills. His phone buzzed with a text from Tom, his lawyer. "Papers are ready to serve. Court date's set for next week." Jake replied, "Good. Any word from her?" Tom's response was brief. "Nothing yet. Stay sharp." At noon, Jake met Sarah, the forensic accountant, at a cafe near his office. She slid a report across the table, detailing Anna's withdrawals from their joint account. $12,000 over 4 months, funneled to hotels and cash for Mark. "She hid it well," Sarah said, "but I traced every cent." Jake clenched his jaw, signing the report for court evidence. He thanked Sarah and called Carlos, the PI, for an update. "Anna's still at Mark's condo," Carlos confirmed. "They're packing bags. Looks like a trip." Jake drove to the soccer field, his mind racing. Anna was running, but he wasn't chasing. He coached the kids' practice, his shouts masking the churn inside. Mia scored, waving at him proudly. Jake waved back, determined to shield her and Ethan from the fallout. After practice, he checked his email. Lisa, Mark's wife, had sent new screenshots. Mark was begging Anna to move in with him, promising to fix everything after his suspension. Jake forwarded them to Tom, adding to the case. That evening, Jake set the kids down for pizza night, keeping their spirits high with a board game. His phone rang. Tom. Anna's lawyer reached out. "She's pushing for joint custody, claims you're overreacting." Jake's grip tightened on the phone. "She's delusional," he said. Tom advised a meeting tomorrow to serve the papers in person. "It'll force her hand," he said. Jake agreed, setting the plan for 10 a.m. at a neutral mediation office. The next morning, Jake dropped the kids with his sister, Lauren, explaining only that he had a meeting. Lauren hugged him, sensing the weight. "You're doing right by them," she said. Jake nodded, driving to the mediation office. Anna was already there, sitting across from her lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Claire. Jake sat beside Tom, the divorce papers in a folder. Anna avoided his gaze, her hands fidgeting. Claire spoke first, proposing a 50-50 custody split and no alimony, citing Anna's job. Jake leaned forward, voice steady. "She drained our savings for her affair. I want full custody." Anna's eyes flashed. "You're twisting this, Jake. I made a mistake, but I'm their mother." Jake slid the folder across. Photos, texts, bank records. "You chose Mark over our family," he said. Claire skimmed the evidence, her face tightening. Anna's voice broke. "I didn't mean to hurt you." The mediator, a calm older man, suggested a break. Jake stepped outside, calling Lisa for an update. She'd filed her own divorce papers, using Mark's company misconduct as leverage. "He's panicking," she said. "Fired yesterday." Jake thanked her, his focus sharpening. Back inside, Anna tried a new angle, offering to end things with Mark if Jake dropped the custody fight. Jake shook his head. "You don't get a bargain with our kids' stability." Claire whispered to Anna, who nodded reluctantly. They agreed to temporary full custody for Jake, pending court. Anna would have supervised visits. She signed the papers, tears falling, and left without a word. Jake drove home, the signed agreement in his bag, but no relief in his chest. He picked up Mia and Ethan, their laughter a reminder of why he was fighting. That night, Jake checked his phone. Anna had texted, "I'm sorry. I'll fix this." He didn't reply, instead calling Tom to confirm the court strategy. Tom warned that Anna might counter with emotional appeals. "Stay focused," he said. Jake hung up, then noticed a new email from Carlos. Anna was at a bar with Mark, arguing loudly. Jake saved the footage, knowing it could tip the scales. Friday morning, Jake took the kids to school, then met Lauren for coffee. She pushed him to talk. "I loved her," he admitted, "but she broke us." Lauren squeezed his hand. "You're enough for those kids." Her words steadied him. Back home, he found a letter slipped under the door, and his handwriting. "I'm leaving Miami for a while. I need to figure myself out. Tell the kids I love them." Jake read it twice, then filed it with the evidence. She was running, but he was done waiting. Jake stood in the Miami courthouse, clutching a folder of evidence as the judge reviewed the case. It was Monday, a week after Anna's letter. Mia and Ethan were with Lauren, unaware of the hearing that would shape their future. Jake's lawyer, Tom, sat beside him, confident in their evidence. Texts, photos, bank records, and Lisa's testimony about Mark's misconduct. Anna sat across the room with Claire, her lawyer, her posture rigid, eyes fixed on the floor. The judge called for opening statements. Tom presented Jake's case, Anna's affair, the drained savings, her abandonment. He emphasized Jake's stability as a father, coaching soccer, and maintaining the kids' routines. Claire countered, arguing Anna's regret and right to shared custody, claiming her actions didn't negate her role as a mother. Jake's gaze stayed steady, his resolve unshaken by her plea. Anna took the stand, her voice trembling. She admitted the affair, but insisted she'd changed, citing her move to a new city as proof of starting over. Jake watched, unmoved, as she avoided mentioning the kids. Tom cross-examined, presenting her text to Mark, sent days after her letter. "You wrote you'd wait for him in Tampa," Tom said. Anna stammered, unable to deny it. The judge's pen moved swiftly, noting her inconsistency. Lisa testified next, detailing Mark's firing and their own divorce, linking his actions to Anna's. The courtroom grew quiet as she shared how Anna's choices fractured two families. Jake's turn came. He spoke clearly, describing nights spent shielding Mia and Ethan from Anna's absence, ensuring their stability. "I'm not here to punish her," he said. "I'm here to protect my kids." The judge nodded, calling a recess. Outside, Jake checked his phone. Carlos, the PI, sent a final update. Anna had been spotted with Mark in Tampa, despite her claims. Jake forwarded it to Tom, who added it to the evidence. Back in court, the judge questioned Anna about her recent contact with Mark. She hesitated, then admitted meeting him to talk. Claire's face fell, sensing the case slipping. Jake sat back, his trust in the truth rewarded. The judge delivered the ruling. Full custody to Jake, with Anna granted supervised visits every other weekend, pending therapy and 6 months of no contact with Mark. Anna's shoulders slumped as she signed the final papers. Jake felt no victory, only relief for Mia and Ethan's future. He left the courthouse, calling Lauren to confirm the kids were okay. "You did it," she said. Jake exhaled, driving home. That evening, Jake sat Mia and Ethan down, explaining Anna would visit soon but live elsewhere. Mia asked if Mommy still loved them. Jake hugged her tight. "She does, but she needs time to figure things out." Ethan clung to his arm, silent. Jake promised a movie night, their smiles easing the ache in his chest. He texted Tom, thanking him for the win, then deleted Anna's old messages, closing that chapter. A month later, Jake coached Mia's soccer team to a championship, Ethan cheering wildly. Friends and parents rallied around him, filling the stands. Anna sent a letter, her first since the hearing, apologizing and promising to follow the court's rules. Jake read it, then tucked it away, focusing on the kids' laughter. He enrolled in a part-time business course, determined to build a better future. Lisa called, updating him on her own progress. Mark had moved out of state, and she'd started a new job. "We're stronger for it," she said. Jake agreed, inviting her to the kids' next game. The community support grounded him, replacing the void Anna left. He hired a nanny to help with evenings, ensuring Mia and Ethan's routine stayed solid. One Saturday, Anna arrived for her first supervised visit. Jake watched from the porch as a social worker guided her to the park with the kids. Mia ran to her, Ethan more cautious. Jake stayed back, giving them space. Anna glanced at him, her eyes heavy with regret, but he turned away, focusing on a text from his sister about dinner plans. He wasn't rebuilding bridges, not yet. That night, Jake tucked the kids into bed, reading their favorite story. Mia asked if he was sad. He smiled, honest. "I was, but you two make me happy every day." Ethan hugged him, whispering, "You're the best dad." Jake's throat tightened, but he kissed their foreheads, turning off the light. Downstairs, he opened his laptop, drafting a business plan for a youth sports program, channeling his energy into something new. Anna's letter sat unanswered. Jake knew forgiveness might come, but not now. His priority was clear: Mia, Ethan, and a life rebuilt on truth. He closed the laptop, stepped onto the porch, and breathed in the Miami night air, ready for whatever came next.